Welcome everybody down to United Sports Centre here. We're here for round 5 coverage of the 2025 Detail Southern League. We have the evening kick-off tonight. First one here at United Sports Centre for the Southern League season this year. As we can see, boys are heading out to the middle of the pitch here. We have the home team Christchurch United in the blue kit, and then the away Universities of Canterbury AFC in the gold kit. As we just gather at the centre of the pitch for pre-game formalities here. Referees today, Michael Love, Courtney Bremner and Ian Marshall. So they'll be officiating today's fixture. And I can just run us through the starting lineups for today's game. So for the home team, Christchurch United FC, in goal we have Stephen Van Dyke. We have a back line of Ollie Van Rysel, Josh Rogerson, Travis Graham and Riley Grover. In the midfield we have Jago Godden, Charlie Beale, and then up front Joshua Tolliver. He's a change today, so back in the starting lineup. Eddie Wilkinson, Shogo Sawa and Joel Stevens. And then for the away team today for University of Canterbury, Matthew Aitchison's in goal, returning in goal after the game on Monday. Isaac Topham, Zach Winter, Max McGuinness, Joshua Dempster, Dylan Winstanley, who did not start on Monday, was on the bench, so he's back in the starting 11. Jacob Kellick, Pero Foreman, Stuart Campbell, Ethan Bingham, who was absent from Monday's squad, and Alessandro Kavashnuk, former under-20 Christchurch United FC player there in Kavashnuk, so cool to see him return to the club as well, playing for another team. Teams huddling up, captains will be getting their last words in before we kick off here. Looks like it'll be Christchurch United to get us underway here. So Christchurch United playing from right to left on your screens, and University of Canterbury playing from left to right. So the captains for today's squads, we've got Travis Graham for Christchurch United and Max McGuinness for UC. They've been captaining their squads regularly this season. UC rather will be looking for a better result than Monday against this familiar rival of theirs. Christchurch United get us underway early. Here's Rogerson now back across to Graham, them two combining for a couple of passes. Now here is Van Rysel getting his first touch of the game. Riley Grover feeding Shogo Sawa, now forward for Wilkinson here. Wilkinson takes a heavy touch but recovers well. Again back to Osawa. On Monday's game we saw a lot of this from Christchurch United, a lot of passing around, waiting for their moment to pounce and find the right pass. And UC sort of held back on the defensive end. They didn't press heavy much, if at all, in the first half. They sort of came out in the second half and begun to, but yet to see their intentions here today. It's not pushing presses so hard, but as you can see, Christchurch United sort of triggering that press here. Joel Stevens sprinting forward, and I think the rest of the team know that he's going to be pressing. A couple of passes here for UC, and we have throw in here for UC coming off of Eddie Wilkinson there, I believe. UC forced to clear that pass out as United were putting some pressure on their passes, so shooting the ball over here. Christchurch United will have themselves a throw. There's Graham now. Back across to Grover. You see a sort of starting to trigger their press around when it enters their defensive half. You see sort of giving a bit of freedom when passing the ball around their defensive players. Here's Joel Stevens driving in the midfield. Gets the pass to Tolby. Now Beale find the running Van Rice on the left. Possibly a chance for a cross into the box here from United. Van Rice will force to retreat a little bit. Here's Rogerson. Now Godden. Grove will find Osawa out on the right. Osawa will deliver the ball to Wilkinson. Wilkinson will get the low cross in. Goes all the way through to the far post. And you see the first players to it, so they'll clear that out. First chance at possibly getting a shot there for Christchurch United, sorry. Couldn't quite get anyone on the end of Eddie Wilkinson's cross, as here's Van Rysel. Deliver to Stevens. Here's Stevens now. And the ball just crossing the touchline there, so throwing for UC. Disappointing for Christchurch United there to not get across into the box or something else from that attack, as they were in good position, but it'll be UC's chance now. And throw taken into Foreman. He loses out there. And here's Charlie Beale. Stevens forward for the running Van Rysel. How's his delivery? You see again, playing relatively decent defence in front of the goal there, stopping United from getting a shot off, but that first sort of decent look at goal is certainly coming for Christchurch United here. Nice bit of combination passing there from Beale and Stevens. Stevens delivers to the far post for Osawa, but the offside flag's going to be up. Osawa just drifted into an offside position there. So this year been very successful for Christchurch United so far, sitting top of the Southern League with 3 wins and 1 draw, still the only undefeated team in the Southern League. This week coming off the back of 2 emphatic wins in the league, away at Ferrymead and Selwyn, scoring 14 and conceding 0. That form continuing, of course, in the English Cup earlier this week against today's opponents in UC, scoring 5 in that game, conceding 0, so taking their total up to 19 goals without conceding. So all systems go on the attack and defensive end, as we see Stevens drives a low cross in, but again UC's defence is there to stop it, but Wilkinson's in a position to win this ball back. Delivers the short pass to Van Rysel crosses. It'll be Aitchison to stop the ball there and give Christchurch United their first corner of the game. Out on this left side here, we saw mainly Ollie Van Rysel delivering these corners on Monday. And they played a lot of these corners short. Only sort of mid-second half they started to deliver those ones in the air. Bit of a different setup here for Christchurch United, loading the far post, but it is short still. And Christchurch United will have a throw here. Eddie Wilkinson, his pass getting deflected. Tolby couldn't get the header on, but it'll come off of a UC play last, so we'll have yet another corner here for Christchurch United early in this first half. It'll be Stevens to deliver. Looks like they'll be going long here, does so to the far post. Can anyone get under it? Ball bobbles around a couple of times. Attempted clearance by UC. It'll be Tolby here. Blocked in over the bar, so we'll have yet another corner here. This corner coming from the right hand side this time. Looks as though this will be Ollie Van Rysel to deliver. Wilkinson coming over for the short option. Rysel delivers. The best delivery there. And this will be dispatched away by Travis Graham, the skipper, getting his first goal of the season. The ball sort of just dropped into a fortunate position for him there. Had a couple of chances to look at it, took his time, waited for the keeper to dive, and then picked his moment to strike one away. It's Travis Graham. like I mentioned, scoring his first goal of the season in the 8th minute here at United Sports Centre to put Christchurch United up 1-0. Coming off the corner there, the ball was not in the greatest position for United, and then it was just sort of battered around a couple of defensive players there before it ultimately drops for Graham. This will give Christchurch United a bit of freedom here, as they were unable to score early in Monday's game. It was a little bit of a cagey sort of start to that first half. Didn't get their goal until well over 20 minutes in. But yeah, they've started early. And look to get more early and often here. So you see looking to get forward, but it'll be Rogerson under that one. Looks as though it'll be Jacob Killick there, who's in an offside position for that pass forward. Rogerson will get us underway here. Now Godden. This shape from Christchurch United now is sort of looking like it's a 3 at the back, so slightly less defensive. Now that they've got their goal, they feel that they can open up a bit more and go for more. As here's Osawa. Ball forward for Wilkinson. Can you get there in time? No, he can't. He'll be out for a goal kick. Promising delivery there, though, from Osawa. Osawa scoring himself a hat-trick in the English Cup tie on Monday afternoon. His first hat-trick for the club. Godden beaten to the header there by Foreman. Now it'll be Bingham, has Stevens to contend with here. And ball forward there from Wynne Stanley for Bingham. Slightly heavy one, and here's Van Rysel. Back to Van Dijk, just slowing things down for a second. That's the most advanced UC have been in terms of this game. And here is Osawa. Cross comes into the box. This will sit for Wilkinson, who strikes one off the volley and over the bar. Christchurch United looking to attack again. Charlie Bell in the midfield looks to feed Joel Stevens, but slight clearance there from the defensive UC. Stevens still running onto this pass as the cross will come in, headed away by Campbell there. Here's Van Rice on the edge of the box. Couldn't get a chance to have a shot at goal, and this will be cleared away by the defensive UC. Out for a throw to Christchurch United, take it quickly. Here's Rogerson, again with Beale. Van Rice returns, manages to split the defence. Dishes to Stevens, who looks to cut in. Nothing on there for him. And Wilkinson just scuffs his pass for Beale, so it's cleared out by Bingham. Now here is the goal scorer, Graham, his first touch since the goal. Feeding it across the back line. Eventually getting it to Stevens on the right wing, his cross in. And it's going to be an own goal there. I believe that was scored by number 17, Stuart Campbell. Unfortunate for him. But nonetheless, it is 2-0 here. That goal coming off of the delivery from Stevens into a dangerous area. May have been a shout from the keeper there. The defensive UC has to do better in that situation. Someone has to claim it. Nonetheless, 13 minutes in, 12 minutes in here, sorry. And it's 2-0 to Christchurch United. Not how UC would have been looking to start this game after their defeat on Monday against United. It certainly isn't how Stuart Campbell was wanting to start the game. The calls for UC are to be pressing a bit harder here, and it seems to have worked, at least in this situation. Foreman's forced to pass back, but Christchurch United are pressing heavy. Here's McGuinness. His pass out to Winstanley. Winstanley couldn't control it, but it comes off of Stevens. And Christchurch United win it back. Stevens accelerating down the left now. Slams the brakes on and loses his man. Now here is Wilkinson. Out to Asawa. Asawa back for Wilkinson. Grove and Asawa combining. Can Grove run onto this one? It's a good challenge there from Campbell, the man who scored the own goal, so he's looking to make up for his mistake there. Christchurch United finding a lot of success in just these short sort of 1-2 passes, triangle passes. They look to get another cross in here, and you see have dealt with this one better than they dealt with the last one, so we'll be out for a corner. So they managed to get an eventual goal from the last corner, Christchurch United. Not exactly how it would have been drawn up, I'm sure, but we'll take the goal nonetheless. It'll be Van Rysel to deliver. Overloading that far post, and they trigger the movement. Christchurch United will be rising up to this one. It's going to be a goal from the number 3 centre-back, Josh Rogerson. Rises up to be the first man to meet that one, and he makes it 3-0 here at United Sports Centre. We've got 3 goals in 15 minutes for Christchurch United here, coming out with very strong intentions. Already beaten their first half result from Monday. Certainly not looking to slow down anytime soon. They don't have a history of doing that. After they score 1, 2 or 3, they sort of just look to keep pressing. Keep their foot on the gas, keep attacking. So expect to see much more of that here today. No shortage of goals at home for Christchurch United last season particularly. Finishing with the 3rd best home record, scoring 41 goals in the process, 16 more in second place Coastal Spirit even, so goals certainly weren't the problem for Christchurch United last season, certainly aren't the problem for them this season. And Godden's pass is a good one to Stevens, just over the head of the UC midfielders, and Stevens runs into a couple of players there, and ultimately the foul will be called on the number 20, Ethan Bingham, so free kick for United here, taken quickly by Wilkinson to Beale, who's the open man on this left. Now Van Rysel, his delivery is a decent one. Couldn't find the head of a fellow Christchurch United attacker though. Wilkinson. Again, those 1-2 passes. Something that Christchurch United are looking to use often here. As you see, with a chance to attack, but their passing just lacking some quality here. Christchurch United intercepting too many early for them to really have any chance to get forward, you see. Now Osawa. Beale looks to lift one over, but keeper shouts for it and collects that one safely. So to win Monday's fixture. Like I mentioned, ending 5-0. Goals from Ollie Van Rysel and Joel Stevens. And then, of course, the hat-trick from Shogo Osawa, like I have mentioned. Tolliver just too strong. Tolliver crosses with the outside of the boot, and they'll get to the far post. But again, not convincing sort of clearance there from UC. They have to be doing better to get the ball out of the danger zone, because Christchurch not getting too many chances off these sort of second chances, I guess. Giving away too many corners as well. Van Rysel directly into the box yet again. Led away there by Captain McGuinness. Stevens has a go from outside the box, and that one will be well over the bar. There's Bingham. Pass through for the running Win Stanley here. Chance for UC. When Stanley cuts in field. There's a couple of options, but runs straight into the defence of Graham. Possibly just held onto the ball for a bit too long there. Had to get his pass away earlier before the defence collapsed on him. Godden. Back across to goal scorer Rogerson. Back across for Godden. Taking their time here, you see, and just to say that, Godden decides to get one forward for the number 9, Tolliver. And that'll be Wilkinson running onto this one. It's a nice pass forward for Stevens. If he can get control of this one, he might be able to get the shot away, but Aitchison out quick enough to clear that one out of the path of Joel Stevens. Wilkinson gets that byline, low cross to the edge of the box for Stevens, who strikes one, and that'll find the bottom right corner. Joel Stevens is going to make it 4-0 here for Christchurch United within 20 minutes. It's a nice assist from Eddie Wilkinson there, who got the pass from, I believe it was Van Rysel, and then just sort of had his eye on Joel Stevens and got that pass through. A few defenders. I think keeper sort of has to be done a little bit better there. That was a slow shot coming in from Stevens, but ultimately past the hands of Aitchison and into that bottom right corner. So Joel Stevens adds to his goal tally for the season. That puts him on now 5 goals and 4 assists in the league, totaling 6 goals in total after his goal in the English Cup tie. So Joel Stevens continuing on from his form last season. United just getting pressed. It'll be good to see how they sort of deal with the press and deep into their own half here. And they've dealt with it well as Wilkinson comes over in the midfield, does get it to Osawa, who's got a bit more space on the right to do something with. You see come away with it. Pass from Dempster there will just get deflected out for a throw. Godden not taking any chances there, lumps that one way up. Back for Aitchison here. Here's Winter. So Winter in a bit more advanced position than he certainly was in on Monday. Here's Graham. United feeding it through this back line again before they can start to move forward. Here is Stevens. Back for Van Rysel. This left side doing very well today in terms of creating goals. Forward for Stevens. Can they create another one from this sort of same position? Here's Van Rysel. Doesn't decide to cross it in straight away. Looks for the better option. It's Beale on the edge of the box. There's Wilkinson. Wilkinson dancing. Gets the shot away. It's got to take a deflection and find the back of the net. Eddie Wilkinson makes it 5-0 here in the first half. Eddie Wilkinson scoring his 4th league goal of the season here today against UC. Making that in total 4 players now, I believe, with 4 or more goals in the Southern League this season for Christchurch United. So many attacking options for this United team. I think this is going to be a usual occurrence for this team this year. As we've seen in this game, you've got players that can create for themselves and players that can create for others. So recipe for success for sure. This will be discouraging for UC here in this first half, but they simply need to react well and be doing better. As it's a nice pass forward from Van Rysel for Stevens. Stevens does get it away to that far post. Keeper's off his line. Wilkinson couldn't direct that one goalwards. Open goal, but the angle was just slightly too tight for him. Christchurch United will be pressing early still. Here's Bingham, his back heel pass. Couldn't get it through, and this will be a nice turn from Tolliver. You might look to get a shot away, but offside flag goes up. Tolliver still looking for his first home goal of the season. 5 league goals in total, but none of them coming here at the paddock here at United Sports Centre, so he'll be looking to score his first. This will be pleasing for Ryan Edwards to see this scoreline in the first half, because it could give him a chance to rest some players who may need it, and possibly give some players on the bench a run who possibly haven't had the chance yet to. A couple of young players on the bench, a couple of players who haven't been in their starting lineup, so it'll be cool to possibly see them in that second half. Stevens with the big switch across field to Osawa. He hit it back, but not far enough, and Osawa will have the pace to run onto this one. Does stop it before it reaches the byline. Rather, doesn't reach it before it crosses the byline, so that it'll be out for a goal kick. With the ref just having a word with Ollie Van Rysel here. Obviously, Ollie Van Rysel said something the referee wasn't pleased with, so just having a word, nothing more. Foreman had gotten up for that one. Foreman did win the header, but couldn't find a teammate, so it'll be Christchurch United again coming away with it in their own half here. Here is Grover. You see, just letting Christchurch United just pass it around. Gives them a chance to set something up down the attacking side. They need to be pressing harder. They need to be doing something to break up the play here, do you see? Wilkinson couldn't find his pass, but fouled in the process. So free kick for Christchurch United here, sorry. Taken quickly by Stevens. Will feed Wilkinson. Can Wilkinson get another cross in? And that's going to come off of a UC play last, so a throw for Christchurch United here. Stevens on a pressure from Jacob Killett. Jacob Killett's going to come away with it. Chance to spread his legs now. His crossfield pass to the open side, open left side here. Can you see get delivery into the box to get their first shot away? But the defence from Grover, that's just stood him up. Didn't let him go any further. Here's Tolliver now, gets away from one. That's a nice bit of skill from him, but he will be fouled after the fact. So going to be a free kick here. Again, taken quickly, they're not wasting any time on these free kicks, and it's going to be Wilkinson run onto this one, but straight through to Aitchison first. He's down on top of that one. Goal scoring load this season is being shared, as we've seen in this first half. Last season, Joel Stevens scoring 19 league goals in 18 games and a 28 goal and assist total in the league. Already adding to that here today for this season, with a total of 11 now, total GA. It's good to see from number 15, left winger Joel Stevens. There's Graham. Approaching the half-hour mark here. This has the possibility to get out of hand for UC here, as we've already seen 5 goals netted for Christchurch United. UC have to figure something out. This could be another chance here. As Van Russell driven to the box, his cross is deflected. Going to be a chance for Grover to strike one from outside the box, and it's a good save by Aitchison. Had to be quick to get across to that one. Set up nicely for Riley Grover there to just strike one from outside the box. See another corner here on this far side for Christchurch United. Taken short. Rice overlapping again, looks to deliver, does so. It's headed high and backwards by a UC player, and Aitchison way out of his box there, forced to just clear this one out, as he wanted to save the corner, but of course also wanted to save the own goal, so he had to bat that one away and chase it down. And Russell throws it all the way back for Rogerson. That's Van Russell. The movement is just movement off the ball by Christchurch United is really good so far today. It's sort of what's helping them get those open players and get those passes into the box so freely. Stevens turns, and his pass to Van Rice was a bit behind him, so it'll be a throw for UC here. So UC promoted to the Southern League last season, finishing 9th with a total of 3 wins, 2 draws and 13 losses, which gives them 11 points. Not bad for a newly promoted team. Main goal would have just been to stay up, which they did do successfully, as Aitchison's forced to clear that one away, but only as far as Van Ryssel's touch pass to Wilkinson. So they managed to stay up in the Southern League, which is why they are here today, continuing their campaign. Now Beale turns back for Rogerson here. That 1-2 again, Rogerson and Beale combining now. Rogerson in a very advanced position. And that's going to be Van Rysel and Stevens combining again. Stevens takes a hit in the back, and referee playing advantage, but there is no advantage there, so free kick's going to be hit for Christchurch United here. Maybe looking to take another one quickly, but the opportunity did not arise. Jacob Killick, the number 13, I believe the foul was called on there. He was not happy about it, and it's going to be Stevens to deliver to that far post. And it was Tolliver up to meet that one first, but his header was not directed goalward, so it'll be the restart for UC here. So Christchurch United only conceding a total of 3 goals in their last 5 games. Those coming against Nelson Suburbs with the 1-1 draw. That was their last home league game here. And then conceding 2 against Nomads in the 4-2 win away at Tulloch Park for their first league game of the season. So defence holding up really well this year. Calls for the foul there on Tolliver. The referee not interested. Says play on. So you see their clearance drifts all the way through for a throw in. Taken quickly by Godden, back to Van Dyke. Now Graham. Here's Osawa. Grover had to make his way back from the right winger sort of position there. Nice cross-field pass from Godden. Will get through to Stevens. It's a nice take. And Joel, it's a difficult pass to make there to Van Rysel. Van Rysel gets to the byline, plays the cross for Eddie Wilkinson, but you see forced to clear this one out yet again. Christchurch United just dominating possession here in this first half, particularly in areas like this where they're just given so much freedom to pass around. They spend a lot of time on this left side here. Tolliver not allowed to turn, so gets the pass back. And here's Osawa, takes the touch with his chest and brings it down. Can't get past Kavashnuk. First time of asking, but it's Wilkinson. There is another chance, saved off the bar by Aitchison. Can it drop for another chance here for United? Here's Stevens on the edge of the box, blocked by McGuinness. Christchurch United just bringing this one all the way back to Godden and Rogerson here. Good save from Aitchison. Able to parry that one onto the bar. Rogerson, his pass for Stevens is going to be too heavy there, so through for the goal kick. Stevens is quick, but I'm not sure he's quick enough to run onto that one. Now Wilkinson back for Grover. Wilkinson has made his way to that right hand side. Might be looking to play out the right hand now. They see more space open on this left side, so Rogerson will work it across to Stevens here. Accelerates past Bingham, gets the low cross in, and that clearance is gone behind for a goal kick here. Sorry, a corner kick here, sorry. Less than 10 minutes left in this first half here. Since that last goal was scored, UC have done a better job on the defensive end in terms of stopping the goals. Still, the chances have been coming for Christchurch United. As we may see another one here. Corner taken short, OVR. Gets that cross in, it's tipped away by Aitchison, but ultimately will go out for another corner here. So in the last game, UC losing 5-2 to the 6th place Ferrymead Bays. So their problem is the just sheer volume of goal conceding that they're finding. As it was Godden who was first up to that one, so close to just keeping that one low enough to get the 6th goal of the day for Christchurch United here, but out for the goal kick. Stevens in a battle for the ball with Wyn Stanley there. Wyn Stanley comes away with it, calls for a handball, but ref not interested. It's going to be Asawa who's shoved off the ball here by Campbell, possibly just a bit of frustration from Campbell there, particularly after his own goal early in the game here. It'll be a free kick for Christchurch. Not looking to take this one quickly. It looks like they're setting something up as they get the two tall fellas forward, and Godden and Rogerson. They've already one with a goal, one with a near goal, and just the last corner we had, so could be looking to deliver to them yet again. Then Russell look to trigger the run, but has to bring it back. Does so a second time, gets it to Stevens, who's going to strike him from outside the box, and I believe that's going to be Wintu, blocks that one there. UC's clearance forward. Got Dempster as an option there, but they just can't get it to him. Not getting much service today is Joshua Dempster.
Have a go, have a go.
Here is Rogerson, might look to have a go, does so, and it was dipping down. Keeper was forced to jump, thought he might have to make a save, but it was over the bar. Nice strike from Josh Rogerson there, as he just jogs backwards into his defensive position. What a goal that would have been if we saw that one find the back of the net. Certainly would have been goal of the week contender. Would have been cool to see for the big fella, the big centre back, the man they call the fridge, which I like to mention every game. Here is Godden. Good luck beating him. It's Graham. Gets the ball to Ben Marshall. He's just going to slow this one down a little bit as there's a little bit of pressure from the UC press. Foreman couldn't get to it before Graham gets the pass away, and then Godden will find a bit of space for Asawa here. And this is a big pass forward for Wilkinson if he can take it in his stride. We might look to chip the keeper there. Aitchison might have just got a fingertip to it. Cheeky attempt there from Wilkinson, but off balance sort of chip. Isn't the easiest of goals to score. Didn't have quite enough pace to beat Aitchison as Aitchison got back for it. Now Bingham gets the pass away. UC will look to spread their legs a little bit here. Just 5 minutes away from half time here, and UC still haven't really had a shot. That's a nice turn from Winter there. But Graham is going to be the first man to this. Dempster might have got a slight touch on that. Van Dijk forced to clear. Grover. So UC dealing with that little sort of spurt from UC Well, still not giving them the opportunity to get a shot off. Monumental effort from the defence in this first half to assure that UC haven't even had a shot. Godden's pass forward for Stevens only gets as far as McGuinness, who heads it down for Winter at that nice turn we just saw in the last play. Sliding tackle from Bell, gets some of the ball, so no calls for a foul. It'll be Dempsey to run onto this one. Godden's across, look to just shield that ball, make sure it goes out for the throw. And Bingham has Rogerson running onto him. Rogerson slides in, and it's going to be Jacob Killick on the floor here, and then it's going to be a shot for UC safely into the hands of Van Dijk. Never really threatening that goal. Could possibly have a substitution coming on for UC here. I'm not sure if it's going to be for the injured man down at the minute or someone else. Nonetheless, team medic or team physio is going to run on and just check on their player. And it is going to be number 13, Kellick. as well. We have a second here with a pause in the game. And talk a bit about the last games these two teams played last season. They met 3 times in total last season, also in the first round of the English Cup like we saw earlier this week, with a 1-0 win going the way of Christchurch United, and then their 2 league games, first one coming here at United Sports Centre, that one ending 4-3, with Mac Pratumpitak earning a red card in the first half for Christchurch United, and then that gave UC the chance to battle back with that extra man and bring the scoreline back to 4-3 after being, I believe, 4-1 down. So whether we can see a fight back from UC here today, we'll have to wait and find out for this during the second half. And then the away fixture at the home of UC, Zach Bennett came on late and scored the winner in his return from injury. And Zach Bennett on that bench today. Could we see him come on and have an impact on this game? So plenty of storylines and games against these two, always entertaining, whether they're lots of goals scored or winners being scored or red cards. There's always something. And it's going to be Christchurch United combining again for these short passes. Stevens looks to take on his man, gets the cross into that far post. Tolliver couldn't rise up to that one, slightly over the head. So 30 seconds left in regulation here as UC do have another player down. Could possibly be number 13 Killick again, I think. And it is Jacob Killick, who walking a bit gingerly even though he is standing now. He's going to make his way to the sideline. Not sure if he's going to be subbed or if the ref just asked him to go to the sideline to receive treatment. He's taking the shirt off, so I believe it is going to be the end of Jacob Killick's night there. So always unfortunate to see a player go off injured. Nonetheless, UC are looking to get forward again here, but their pass cut out by Jago Godden. Here's Campbell, his touch heavy but recovers well. UC just going to lose it out for the throw. Just see the difference in quality for the passing there. Christchurch United is a lot more accurate and exact, whereas UC just sort of lose touch of there every now and then, and their attacks are sort of cut early. As here we can see Riley Grover start to run onto this one, show some pace from the fullback. Gets the cross in, Wilkinson takes it in his stride, drives to that byline, cuts back, has a couple of options. Looks to find Bell on the edge of the box, but Winter cuts it out. Again, couldn't get to it, but the referee's going to call, I believe that's a simulation call there on, I think that's Osawa, who is trying to get the penalty in the box, but the referee not convinced, rather brandishing the yellow card for him as opposed to his opponent. So it'll be a restart here for Aitchison. Looks to play this one long. And we are now into added time. Going to be a few minutes, not a whole lot, but we will have a little bit of time added onto this first half. And Aitchison just apologising to his team there, scuffing the restart out for a United throw. Now Rogerson again looking for that familiar pass over to Van Rysel on this left side, and Van Rysel couldn't find Stevens. Instead, it'll be UC come the other way. Foreman's pass for Bingham. Bingham, his touch is below par there and couldn't keep control of it. It'll be a throw in here for Van Rysel to take. Go backwards for Godden. Godden across for Graham. And now Osawa running onto this one. He's got plenty of pace, does Osawa. Ball staying in, coming off the corn flag, so play on, but ultimately we'll go out for a goal kick. Here's Campbell. Under pressure from behind from Tolliver. Tolliver does well to come away with it, makes a good challenge. Here is Beale. Beale's going to find the open man Stevens, who looks to get the cross in. And on the end of it, a little bit behind Beale there as Tolliver comes away with another tackle. Here's Grover. And his delivery, not quite what he was looking for there, so it'll be another goal kick here. And the ref will bring the half to a close there after the goal kick of Matthew Aitchison. Story of this first half has been Christchurch United's quality has just been far too high for UC. With a goal in the 8th minute from Travis Graham, putting Christchurch United up 1-0 early here. And then unfortunately Stuart Campbell scoring for the wrong team. Own goal for him in the 13th minute. And then 3 successive goals from Rogerson, Stevens and Wilkinson. Leaves the scoreline 5-0 here in the first half.
goal, well, try to develop those kids so there will be maybe one future in the next All Whites team.
And like I say, we've been coming a few years now, and thoroughly enjoy being here. And such a well-run tournament. The facilities are just second to none.
Play here, numbers back though, forward for Webster. Chance to shoot, does, and it's in. What a finish there from Webster. Too much space.
Plays the pass. Whoa, it'll be hard to line up the shot. It has been.
Yeah, it's good. It's good to play everyone around the country, and it's great teams.
Yeah, it's huge. It was really great having the Jeremy Brocky group here. Well, the grounds, facilities are so nice here.
I thought the tournament was put on unbelievably.
Richard Farlong gets himself another goal.
Hi guys, Mayor Phil here. I'd just like to say thank you for coming to Christchurch for the 10th anniversary of the Christchurch International Cup. This is going to be so good for the whole city. As you know, I know, Christchurch is becoming and will be the sporting events capital of New Zealand. We are so happy to have you here in our city because it means so much. A week and a half. So all the best, and thank you very much for using our city as your base once again. Well done.
The Christchurch International Cup takes place at United Sports Centre, home to some of the top sporting facilities in the country. Over 1,500 players compete for the Cup's top prizes every year. You can keep up to date with the tournament using the Christchurch United app. Keep an eye on fixtures, results, and top scorers. You can also follow the Christchurch International Cup Instagram, Facebook and TikTok accounts to view images, goals, interviews and much more. Team managers will also be given access to Spidio, a software that records all the matches. Team managers will be able to share access to family and friends who are unable to attend the tournament. The under 13s, 14s and 15s finals will be live streamed with commentary on the Christchurch United YouTube channel.
Chance to shoot, does, and it's in. What a finish there from Webster.
To be honest, it was an exceptional experience for the boys. I mean, Christchurch United were a phenomenal opposition, played some really aggressive football, and it was a challenge, to be honest. There's some really talented young players coming through the system clearly, and it was tough for our boys to make sure that we were up for the game, but in the end, some really good football on display, and really happy with the boys' performance.
Yeah, look, it's awesome. See Jeremy, hadn't seen him for a long time, and a very valued player in my career as a coach, but great to see him back and putting back into the game, and he had some great players and some very, very good teams at the tournament. So look, it adds a different flavour, a good level of competition, and good experience for kids coming this side of the Tasman. So yeah, look, we welcome those sort of opportunities, and great for our kids to test themselves against kids from Australia.
Yeah, that's part of the excitement, I think, of coming to a new competition. I think we play a lot of the same teams up in North Queensland in the competitions that we play in. So to come over our overseas trip, play clubs and academies that we don't know too much about, and a new excitement for the kids and the families that have travelled. So really exciting to be here. Fantastic facilities, and yeah, we're hoping for a couple of really good days of football and a lot of fun.
So I know the International Cup quite well, but it's a different story coming down with the Phoenix. You obviously got a bigger weight on your shoulders, and everyone expects you to do well. So it's just nice for the young boys to get some recognition on the national stage. So yeah, and massive thanks to Christchurch United for putting on an awesome tournament as well. So yeah, appreciate that as well.
Christchurch United is a proud Christchurch football club with a strong and successful history. It was one of the founding clubs of the New Zealand National League in 1970. The club has won 6 National League titles and 6 Chatham Cups, including the 2 famous doubles in 1975 and 1991. It has produced many outstanding players who have competed internationally, including the likes of the legendary All Whites who competed at the 1982 World Cup in Spain. That team included Steve Sumner, Grant Turner, Bobby Armand, Steve Wooden and Frank Van Hattem. Also, All Whites captain Ryan Nelson and Ben Sigmund were part of the unbeaten New Zealand team at the 2010 World Cup in South Africa. In 2016, the club merged with the rapidly growing Christchurch Football Academy. The academy had a strong founding vision and had built a world-class facility at Yaldhurst Road. Stronger together, sharing a vision for future development and opportunities for young players.
Right, we're here at the Christchurch International Cup 2024 U15 prize giving. I'm here with Joseph Chalabi, the Golden Glove winner for Christchurch United. How's it feel to win the trophy, Joseph?
Yeah, I feel really happy. I thought the team did really well. Final was pretty hard. We controlled the first half. Second half was harder, but yeah, I'm really happy with the boys and happy to get to win the trophy.
It feels really good, and I want to say thank you to my teammates for playing me good through balls to get my goals.
The experience has been amazing. Just coming down Christchurch on the plane to play at tournaments, it's amazing. Love the grounds, facilities are so nice here.
If you want to come and join us at the football festival, register your team, book your tickets and come on over. You can register online and we look forward to seeing you in this beautiful garden city.
Welcome back to second half coverage, round 5 of the 2025 Detail Southern League. Ahead of us here we have the second half of Christchurch United FC versus Universities of Canterbury AFC. So just before the second half kicks off, I'll have a chance here. Let's run you through the other fixtures that are coming this Anzac weekend. So tomorrow we have Wanaka FC at home against Selwyn United, Ferrymead Bays at home against Dunedin City Royals, and then No Man's United are taking on Coastal Spirit at Tullett Park. And then on Saturday, just a solitary game on Saturday, Nelson Suburbs host Cashmere Technical at Saxon Fields. So plenty of football ahead this Anzac weekend, certainly no shortage. Missed that first half. We had, as you can see on the score there, a total of 5 goals. Goals coming from Joel Stevens, Eddie Wilkinson, captain Travis Graham scoring his first goal of the season, and then Josh Rogerson also getting his name on the score sheet, and then the own goal from the UC midfielder and defender Stuart Campbell. So that has been the tale of the tape so far here. I'm sure we're going to be in for an entertaining second half. More goals to come, I'm sure, hopefully from both teams. It would be nice to see UC get something out of this game. They weren't able to get any goals against Christchurch United here on Monday. And it does look as if we have had changes, at least to the Christchurch United team. As I can see on the field here, we've got the number 21 just here in front of us, Wyatt Barella. He's a young man who's come through the Otakaro AFC Academy and then joined the Christchurch United Academy last year. And on the ball here is young fella Nicholas Montoya, who's also come through this Christchurch United Academy the last year or so. So good to see them getting a run. Any further changes, I'll try and bring them to you as I spot them. There is Campbell. Now McGuinness. Across to this far side, UC might look to get forward a little bit here. Christchurch United not starting the half defensively like they played that first half, as they're allowing a few more passes from UC, and ultimately UC are going to win this throw. And it's going to be Tolliver making another challenge. Tolliver still searching for his first home goal. I mentioned it earlier in the game. It's been in such good goal scoring form rather. Just hasn't been able to find the back of the net here at United Sports Centre. And Grover back to Graham. The captain scoring his first goal of the season in that first half. The team were pretty elated for that, pretty happy to see. Now Wilkinson under some pretty immediate pressure and unable to get the quality pass away he would have liked, but Christchurch United still come away with it. Stevens is going to switch the play, get it across to Grove on this right side. His touch pass for Barella is good. Barella's pass just couldn't get through. Campbell, I believe it was, who got the intercept, got the deflection there. So going to be Grover coming away with it now, drawing down this right hand side, gets it to Stevens. Stevens decelerates, gets the pass away. Wilkinson couldn't find Tolliver. And I've just spotted one change I know that UC have made. We've got the number 23, Emmanuel Peralta, coming on, so it possibly could have been the earlier change come on for the injured Kellick. Now Grover gets that pass away. Now here is Montoya. Now then Rysel. Wilkinson finds Montoya, who finds Stevens. Cuts across to his right, it's going to be dragged down, and the foul is going to be called there with a free kick in a dangerous area. We've seen Christchurch United score from these already this season. It was in a similar spot that Van Rysel got the assist on the Jago Godden goal in that Nelson Suburbs fixture. So it'll be Stevens on this one, no doubt. We want to have a shot. Scored from plenty good free kicks last season. Did Joel Stevens. Some of them in emphatic fashion, so I've seen entertaining goal here now. And Rysel's also there, could be him. Four-man wall for UC. It will be Stevens. Strikes one, looking to dip one. Couldn't get that low enough to sneak under the bar, so it did also look as if Aitchison had it covered. He was diving, so he wasn't taking any chances, was Matthew Aitchison. I'm sure he knows just how dangerous Stevens can be from those situations. As Christchurch United just win that throw now. To be taken by Van Rysel. And for Montoya. Takes a couple of touches, but is ultimately pushed off the ball, and UC come away with it. And Jago just does the exact same thing that will open to Montoya there. Ensuring that Foreman can't receive that pass. As Godden's looking to get forward now. And this pass away to the left side. It's going to be Stevens. Dancing away from the defence of 1, 2, splits the defence with the pass. Now it's Wilkinson who's under pressure. Here is Wilkinson now. Grove having to backtrack to get to that pass. It's a nice turn from Montoya. Get that pass through. Grover does, and it's going to be Wilkinson who strikes one on the volley, but it's Aitchison was always in front of that one to get the save done. We're going to have our first look at a corner in the second half. You'll see for Christchurch United down the other end here. As Christchurch United go to that familiar sort of setup, overloading that far post, and then once the corner's triggered, they all spread out and get into their position. Wilkinson's a short option for Van Rysel. Got Stevens there in the setup as well. It will be going straight into the box. It's at the far post and it's headed just over. I believe that was again Josh Rogerson, nearly getting his second on the day with the head. Not sure we've seen yet this season 2 players score off of a header in a single game, so today could be that day for Josh Rogerson as Montoya, under some pressure from Bingham, who's dispossessed him from behind there. You see he might have a chance to come away with one now. But Montoya wins it back. Finds Barella. Barella's pass forward is not into the stride of Tolliver. And you see his touch is too heavy and Godwin spotted one. Tolliver's going to get a chance to run onto this one. Can't be offside now because Campbell's already touched it. But Campbell gets the clearance away. Grove is in front of that one. Nice pass from Barella through the legs of Kavashnuk. Graham just given some words of advice to his younger players there. I mentioned on Monday how it's so important for the younger players to get experience out with the senior players, and for them to have that support from them. It just helps their development so much. So it's good to see them getting a full half of football in here. As Tolliver turns, switches directions, finds Eddie Wilkinson, who lifts one over. Can Tolliver chase this one down? Aitchison's out of off his line. Oh, I can't get the strike away. It's going to be Tolliver to get the cross in. Wilkinson strikes and is going to find the back of the net. Multiple chances to score there. Christchurch United felt they would have had to come away with one from that situation, and they did. Eddie Wilkinson scores his second on the day in the 53rd minute here. So 2 goals for Eddie Wilkinson. That brings his season tally now up to 5. So we have 3 players on 5 league goals. Which having those 5 league goals means that those 3 players, and Joel Stevens, Josh Tolliver and Eddie Wilkinson, are now currently tied for second in the Golden Boot races. We see Grover here just taking a heavy touch, and it's going to be Kavashnuk comes away with it, gets the pass to Campbell. Campbell's clearance away is not a good one, and it will drop for Graham, who's going to retreat a little bit, but Godden goes forward again. Now it's going to be Godden feeding Wilkinson, who can get that pass forward. Eddie just being forced to go a little bit backwards there, and that's going to be out for a UFC throw. So sorry, just as I was mentioning that Golden Boot race, coming into this race, Joel Stevens was in a tie for 3rd with 4 goals, and Wilkinson was in a tie for 4th with 3 goals, along with Osawa. But now all 3 of those players, Tolliver, Stevens and Wilkinson, are currently tied for 2nd on 5 goals. So Tolliver, despite not scoring at home, still, like I mentioned, in good goal scoring form. Plenty of service for these front players. That's why they're managing to get so many goals. Of course, their individual quality is amazing as well. like we've seen in multiple scenarios, them creating goals for themselves. It's going to be Campbell switching the play here. And McGuinness. Aitchison. Up for Kavashnik. It's going to be cut out by Graham, Barella. Nice pass in. Field for Grover there. Grover under some pressure. Kyle's going to come away with it. Montoya forced to pass backwards. It's a good little bit of pressure there from Emmanuel Peralta to briefly gain possession for UC there, but Christchurch United too good in these sort of scenarios. And now a chance for UC to get forward. They're going to possibly get a shot away here. They do, and it was a decent attempt. Too high over the bar though. I believe that was Dempster who had the chance there. So first shot of the game there for UC. Their first chance to add to the score sheet, but unable to get a return from that attacking play. Here is Godden. So UC just still not really putting too much pressure on the back line of Christchurch United here in terms of them just allowing them to pass. But as soon as that ball gets in the midfield, you do see that press start to trigger a little bit more. Now Wilkinson drives into the box. Can he get the cross away? Does so. Campbell's there. Stevens. Still Stevens gets that pass away, and it's going to drop at the far post for Wyatt. Barello could not beat the keeper Aitchison. That ball just drifted all the way through to him. A lot of times you see that far post where the ball will get all the way through and there's just no player there, so it's good to see from Barella there expecting calls for the handball there. It did look as if though Pero Foreman did handle it, but the referee couldn't quite spot that one as Campbell's pass back for Aitchison. Now Peralta makes that crossfield pass. And it does also look as if I've just missed a substitution for UC, so I believe it is going to be Bert Durat who has come onto the field, the number 7. Might even have been Bert Durat who got that shot away. UC having a chance just moments ago. We'll be looking to make an even bigger impact on this game rather than just getting that one shot away, I'm sure. Here's Bingham now. His pass scuffed. Couldn't get to Foreman. Foreman trying to chase it down, but Montoya was there first. Godden could not quite find the running Tolliver, but Christchurch United nonetheless come away with it. Too many players in the way of, I think it was the running Wilkinson there, couldn't get through them. And the referee's flag is going to go up here for offside, so the ball will be brought back. For the Christchurch United restart, taken by Godden. Now Graham. Getting a bit further forward there is Graham, here's Grover, back for Graham. Seen so many of these sort of triangle sort of motions with the passes for Christchurch United today. And it's really helping them create space and get chances to go forward. And the Another one of those massive crossfield passes from Godden to Stevens. And there's going to be Stevens on the ball now. Is challenged and challenged well. You see possibly have a chance to get forward now, and Rogerson's first man to that one and gets the touch. Foreman challenges Stevens, comes away with it. You see now still Stevens again. Now Campbell. Kavashnook. Now Dempster. There's Tolliver sort of in a more midfield position there as opposed to his regular up front, but Wilkinson does well to get away from a couple of UC defenders there. And Durrat's pass forward has just gone out of play there. Christchurch United will win the throw. So with the potential win here tonight for Christchurch United, it is looking that the result will go that way. Currently sitting 1 point clear, could go 4 points clear tonight over second place Coastal Spirit and 6 points clear of the defending champions Cashmere Technical, which is the stat that I'm sure Ryan Edwards and Christchurch United will be most excited about. Of course, those teams yet to play this weekend, but they'll sleep easy tonight knowing that they're sitting in that sort of position. Now UC are spending a little bit more time on the ball this year, and it's going to be a foul called there. No advantage played, so free kick for UC. Away from home, UC have played some of their sort of better football. 3 wins last year coming away from home against FC 2011 in a 6-1 win, against Selwyn in a 3-0 win, and then against Nomads in a 2-1 win, so plenty of quality competition there. So they finished with the 7th best away record in the Southern League last year, so they'll be disappointed with how they've played tonight in this away fixture, but they're searching for some positives to take away from this game here in the second half. They almost had one with a strike at goal not so long ago. There's Graham. Now Barella running into a bit of space. Couldn't get that pass through to Wilkinson. Grover's header forward for Montoya. Montoya's been good on the ball so far this game. And Barella's passing has been promising, so we could be seeing more of them over this season, possibly the coming years in this first team. Christchurch United does have a sort of reputation for bringing players up through that academy and breeding quality talent in New Zealand football. And Christchurch United forced to retreat a bit here, and it is going to be Rogerson who does well on the defensive end to stop that UC attack. It was sort of a 2-on-2 sort of situation there for a while. Could have seen UC have a chance, but nonetheless the defence of Rogerson is too strong. Barella. There's Grover in a slightly more central defending position there, as opposed to his regular fullback or midfield. It's going to be Van Rysel will get that cross to that far post, and Tollerby just couldn't keep that header down, almost making that his 6th goal of the season, 6th goal here. Almost his first goal here at home for Josh Tollerby there, but couldn't keep the header down. It was a good delivery from Van Rysel. Aitchison lumps one forward. Montoya's under that one. It's going to be Kavashnik under some pressure from Barella, and handball called there. So Montoya's determined to be in an unnatural position there, so the handball called. And the restart for UC. And Guinness delivers to that right-hand side. It's going to be Peralta getting the pass away to Durant. Barella couldn't quite get the touch. It was a hard ball to keep control of, but nonetheless 50-50 between Dempster and Graham there. Comes the way of UC, they win the throw. Looks like it will be Ryan Edwards going to the bench here. And it's going to be the number 15, Joel Stevens, heading to the bench. Had himself a decent game, scoring 1 goal out here today. And it is going to be the number 20, Daniel Main, returning from injury here today, so good for him to get some minutes in the legs after sitting a couple games out. Durant's pass for Foreman is too heavy, so it'll drift all the way through for Van Dijk. Now Graham with a bit of space to run forward and pick the pass he wants. It's going to be Peralta just kicking it off of the foot of Tollerby for the throw. Kavashnik will take. Heavy pressure there from Christchurch United on Foreman. There's Rogerson now on the left side, gets that pass. I believe that's Eddie Wilkinson over there in a different position than we're used to seeing him in. Nice pass by Jago. Got in there into the Daniel Main in the midfield. Possibly a chance for UC now. Dempster, it's going to be on this left-hand side, gets the cross away. Rogerson's in between it, so is Van Rysel, and between them they get the clearance away in time. Wilkinson smashes one forward out of any danger area there. Approaching 70 minutes played here at United Sports Centre. Wilkinson has ball forward for Tollerby. Back to Wilkinson. Wilkinson now driving into the box. Nice bit of skill to get past the defence there, and the keeper parries away. Could be a chance for a second effort here. And there is a second effort, and it's going to be Daniel Main, I believe, scoring his first goal of the season there off of the parry of the keeper, Matthew Aitchison. Daniel Main is there to collect the scraps. Score the 7th goal here today, make it 7-0 to Christchurch United. shot attempt there from Tolliver, just dropping off the parry of the keeper into the path of Daniel Main, who was just able to tidy that one up. So my coach has stressed the importance of just staying active and being ready for that ball to drop from situations like that. Daniel Main find himself in the right place at the right time, making an impact on this game just minutes after coming on. Josh attempts to run onto this one, but Steve Van Dyke makes a shout, and it's keeper's ball. There's Rogerson. So unfortunately this result here today is just too similar to other games that UC have been experiencing this season. Of course, losing 5-0 on Monday in the English Cup against us, Christchurch United rather. Losing 5-2 to Ferrymead Bay, 7-1 to Nelson Suburbs, 6-0 to Nomads, and then their closest game of the season so far is the 1-0 against the newly promoted side, Wanaka. Of course, Wanaka just defeating the defending champs Cash Tech 3-2. So a good side to have a decent result against, only conceding 1 goal. Their most promising game this season, currently sitting 9th with 4 losses, as you see. So looking for a bit of form, looking for some positives is this UC team. And now it's going to be a corner one here for Christchurch United. It looks as if it will be Coach Ricardo Miguel Felice Campamar looking to the bench here. And it'll be Pharaoh Foreman heading to the bench. And number 9, Ashton Lay, coming onto the field here. Starting the game on Monday against Christchurch United did Ashton Lay, but to the bench this week he goes, and onto the pitch now. So corner for Christchurch United, bending towards that far post. There was a touch from keeper Aitchison. Great, does drop for Graham, who didn't know much about it, and that back heel from Tolliver. Almost an amazing goal there from Joshua Tolliver, but Aitchison makes the save. What a way to get your first home goal that would have been. Bingham under pressure. Now Peralta forced to pass back for McGuinness, who lumps one forward out of the danger area. Rogerson's going to have to chase this one down and get the pass back for Van Dyke. Now here is Barella. And Rysel. Massive pass forward. Nice touch from Tolliver there, but unfortunately offside, so touchline referee's flag goes up. You see, just stringing a couple of passes together there, so it's a bit more promising to see there on the attacking side. So this being Ryan Edwards' 4th change of the game, and that's going to be, I believe, the number 16 Zachary Bennett coming on for Riley Grover. Of course, it was around about this time that Zach Bennett came on to score the winner in that 1-0 win against UC last season. So no stranger to a goal in this fixture is Zach Bennett. And here he gets his first touch of the ball. It's a nice pass in for Barella, who cuts into his left, strikes, scores! White Barella scoring his first goal of the season with a lovely bit of play. Gets away from two defenders, cuts onto his left, strikes it low and hard and finds the back of the net. What a lovely bit of play there from the young teenager. Happy moment for him and the fans out here today. And a happy day for the Christchurch United Football Club Academy as well, who are always so pleased when their players go on to play in the first team as well. So you see get us underway again here. It's going to be McGuinness on the ball. As Graham takes one in the chest there to intercept the pass. It's going to be Peralta now in the midfield. Pass out wide is a good delivery. UC may look to get a shot away and it's straight into the hands of Van Dijk. Saw that one all the way, made the save nice and easy. So it's also confirmed that Christchurch United have drawn Hallsville United in the English Cup quarter-finals. Hallsville beating FC 2011 2-1 in round 1. So we'll be able to look forward to that in the coming months. As Christchurch United got in the hunt to retain that title. Or cup rather, sorry. Here's Graham now getting further towards that midfield. His ball lifted forward for Van Rysel. McGuinness is under it. Gavashniuk's going to have to chase this one down. And Barella's there to make the challenge. But last touch off Barella for the UC throw. Lay back for Gavashniuk. And Lay again. Dempster stops the ball from going out, but Montoya's there. And that'll be off of UC for a Christchurch United throw. Nice challenge from Peralta on Montoya there. You see come away with it. Aitchison's going to clear this one up. Trying to find Dempster, but his pass falling short. Should just dropping a couple of degrees, possibly looking at about 10 degrees now. Field is a lot drier than we saw on Monday, so that's showing us the better goal scoring sort of conditions that we are in today. So Wilkinson's cross is cut out and we'll go out for a throw here. Here's Graham. You see, just managing to string together quite a few passes here before being dispossessed there by Daniel Main. Barella does well to come away with it and beat Gavashniuk. Here's Daniel Main, turns, gets that pass through to Tollevi. Chance for Tollevi now, and it's saved, but the referee's flag is up. Tolliver still searching for that first home goal. Another goal here would equal Christchurch United's best result this season. You see player down, but just making his way back to his feet. So the restart here after the offside from Josh Tolliver. It's going to be Godden and layup for that challenge, but Godden comes away with it. Montoya's pass for Main is a bit in front of him. Godden wins it back for Christchurch United. And here's Graham. Nice pass forward for Tolliver, who is again in offside position there. The referee is going to reach for his pocket here and show Josh Tolliver the yellow card, possibly for a bit of dissent there. Unfortunate that Josh Tolliver was offside there because he did get the pass away for Daniel Mann, who did go on to score, but it will not count as offside was called before. Like I mentioned, Christchurch United 1 goal away from tying their best result, which was a 9-0 win over a struggling bottom of the table Selwyn United. A brace for both Stevens and Tolliver in that game. Additional goals for Van Rysel, Beale, Osawa and Wilkinson. So we see more of that goal scoring load being shared amongst all of the players, both attackers and defenders, along with some midfielders. Montoya in that game playing his second league game, so playing his third league game here today. Barella, his Premier League, Southern League debut in that game rather, and his second game here today, which comes with a goal, like we just saw. Whereas UC's sort of best result in terms of them scoring goals was 5-2 loss last time out against 6th place Ferrymead. Goals from Dempster and Campbell. UC did score in the first half to tie the game up 1-1 early, but headed to the sheds down 3-1, and despite the late rally, goal in the 72nd minute, it did not stop Ferrymead from scoring again and going on to take that win. So as we see Golden getting forward now, it's a good challenge. And again, Montoya making that sliding tackle. It's going to be Kavashniuk under some pressure from Barella. Wilkinson turns and takes a couple of touches. Just that, couldn't get away from that last challenge of Campbell there. Zach Bennett was looking to play in Joel Stevens there, and that could possibly be a back pass, and it will be a back pass from McGuinness there to Aitchison, so could be seeing an indirect free kick here for Christchurch United. Always interesting when these situations and scenarios arise, what teams choose to do and how they set up. So a pretty rare sort of opportunity to see an indirect free kick here, as you can see UC overloading that goal kick, that goal line. Looks like it will be possibly Tolliver or Van Rysel standing over this one to take the strike. It looks like it will be Tolliver to take the strike. Van Rysel will set him up. So the sort of what you want to try and do here is hit it hard, and Tolliver will. And it will be finally first home goal for Joshua Tolliver. He's had so many chances today, and off of the indirect free kick, Joshua Tolliver nets his first goal here at United Sports Centre for Christchurch United. Scoreline now sitting 9-0 to the Rams. In the 85th minute here, Christchurch United now will want to go on to possibly make it double figures here. Free assist there for Ollie Van Rysel on the indirect free kick. Tolliver just getting a bit handsy there. It'll be Kavashniuk now spreading his legs. A nice cut inside, gets it to Peralta. Montoya does well to disrupt Peralta's run there and allow Christchurch United to come away with it. And Montoya will hit the deck. Referee not interested in any foul calls, and it will be Tolliver now. Tolliver's touch a bit too heavy. Bit of a jersey pull, ref plays advantage. Just hearing a moment there, I just heard Ryan Edwards, Christchurch United coach from the sideline, calling out to Joshua Tolliver, "We need you next week." No doubt that's a reference to him already being on a yellow card and him not wanting another, so just possibly a call for him to just calm down. And it's a 9-0, no need to do anything rash and get yourself another red card, another yellow card, which would of course then be a red card. So a good bit of coaching there from Ryan Edwards. Now Rogerson. Van Rysel. Graham's going to be forced to pass back for Van Dyke. They're under some pressure from Ashton Lay. Gives Van Dyke an opportunity to lump one forward. We haven't seen a lot of that from him today. Haven't had to see a lot of that, I should say. Now Van Rysel. Nice pass away for Wilkinson, who gets that low cross in. It's going to be Daniel Main with a nice sort of flick on from the pass of Eddie Wilkinson there to bring the scoreline to 10-0. Daniel Main with his second goal of the day. Eddie Wilkinson with another assist. Quality football. So it's going to be a very encouraging day for Christchurch United here. And unfortunately the opposite for UC is still struggle to find positives to take away from this moving forward in their Southern League campaign. Just a delay on the restart here as Montoya pops his shin pad back in and Ashton Lay gets us underway. McGuinness now forward into the midfield for Durat, back for McGuinness. McGuinness is passed forward to Lay. Lay takes a touch with the chest and leaves it for Durat. Chasing it down. Unfortunately losing out. Conceding the throw, now Van Dyke. Going to move the ball. Gets it forward for Tolliver, calls for a handball, but ref not interested. UC lumps one forward here. It's going to be Ashton Lay against Rogerson. Ashton Lay does bring the ball down, but he's got three players around him. And it's going to be Travis Graham takes a heavy touch with the chest, gets the ball to Main in the midfield. Main might look to spread it here. Couldn't get there on his first time of asking. Christchurch United with another chance on play though. And here's Peralta. Spread it wide for Dempster. Over his head. Couldn't get anything on the end of that. Here's Bennett to take the throw. So with that goal earlier from Joshua Tolliver, that does put him tied for first in the Golden Boot race, and then not tied, but leading goal scorer for Christchurch United this season rather. Nice bit of play there from Montoya to come away with it and shouts of man on, so he does retreat the ball a bit there and gets it back to Godden, who ultimately gets it to Van Dyke. And the referee just blows the whistle for a man down on the far side over here. Looks like that is going to be Ollie Van Rysel. Team medic's just going to go and check on him. Not sure if Ryan Edwards does have any substitutions left, so whether Christchurch United just play the rest of this game with 10 men, or if Ollie Van Rysel is okay to come back on. There's Van Dijk. Does look like Ollie Van Rysel has come back on, so good to see that he's okay. He's a key part of this team. Started every game so far, I believe, has Ollie Van Rysel, so there's someone that Ryan Edwards will want to keep fit. And delivery to the far post here by Lay for Dempster. Does get the pass away to Peralta. A couple of defenders in front of him, and just can't deal with those three defenders as Travis Graham is going to hit the deck here. May have taken a possible stomp on the foot there as he is grabbing at that right foot. They can always be painful ones, especially in the cold. Hopefully just one that he can walk off. And here's Van Dijk. You see really pressing hard now, late in the game. Feeling like there is sort of nothing more to lose from this point. So we're going to throw in here for Christchurch United. Rather a throw in for UC, so not sure what the referee and the touchline referee were discussing there, but ultimately the throw does go the way of UC. There's Durant in the midfield. For McGuinness. Was for Campbell. Now ball for Kavashniuk to run onto. Former Christchurch United under-20 academy player. His shot at goal is wide left, never threatening the goal of Van Dijk. Nonetheless, UC have had another shot, so doing much better in the second half in terms of attacking than the first half. Unable to register a single shot in that first half and a couple in the second half. McGuinness is across to keep Eddie Wilkinson away from that one safely. It gets a pass through the midfield. Nice bit of play there from Peralta. Kavashniuk. Tolliver's pass from Montoya is fizzed at him a bit too quick, so his touch is a heavy one, and Aitchison will get the ball to McAllister. So McAllister and number 33 McAllister and the number 27 Colwick also making their way into the field. Both McAllister playing on that team on Monday. Colwick absent from the squad that day, but is back today. I believe the uni break's sort of coming to an end soon, so that's why I've seen a few extra players back today, and Tolliver is going to be offside from there, so that goal will not count. Referee's flag is up yet again, so something that Tolliver may want to work on with Ryan Edwards during the week is just finding those positions at the right moments and timing your run, bending your run, just so you can keep those offsides to a minimum and maximise your chances at goal. That'll be so important when we meet the higher end of the table, sort of in the coming weeks and later in the season. Teams like Cash Tech and Coastal. Christchurch United event themselves a throw here. We are into added time. There will be a fair bit, a couple of injuries, and of course the goals scored in the second half. So looks as if it's going to be Wilkinson over this one. Don't see him delivering too many of the corners for this team, but Fazden drops for Van Rice. Oh, couldn't get that shot away. Didn't know much about the ball coming at him. And you see, just can't get those passes away, and the referee is going to bring this game to an end. Sort of a duplicate second half, like we saw the first half. First half ending 5-0, second half also 5-0, so a total of 10-0 going the way of Christchurch United here. Christchurch United shift 4 points clear of Coastal Spirit at the top of the league and 6 points clear of defending champs Cashmere Technical, which is, like I mentioned, what they will be most happy about. The story of today is going to be, I'm sure, talked about, which will be Joshua Tolliver scoring his first home goal, and then young academy player Wyatt Barella scoring his first goal for the first team here. We appreciate you joining us for this round 5 coverage of the Southern League, and we hope to see you at the next home game. Final score here, 10 Christchurch United, 0 for University of Canterbury. Perfect. Thank you very much. See you next time. Jake.